Hi, this is Jed Wonderly with Noble Home Loans, and I wanted to share a quick thought with you regarding an article I read recently that talked about how millennials are putting off buying a home because of the interest rate increase that the Fed did in December. Now, there's a couple of thoughts that come to mind. First of all, what the Fed does doesn't directly impact the, what happens with mortgage rates. In fact, when the Fed increased rates recently, we saw quite a nice positive impact as far as mortgage rates were concerned. They actually got a little better. Now, there's a lot of reasons why that happens, but I'm not going to go into that here. I just want you to know that the Fed funds rate is a very short-term rate. It's an overnight rate. It does have an impact, and ultimately, lots of Fed funds increases are going to certainly lead to higher mortgage rates in most cases. But in the short term, a lot of times, if it's expected and priced in and all that kind of thing, then, and depending on what the language is that the Fed uses when, in their notes and whatnot, then a lot of times we see actually a benefit as far as mortgage rates are concerned. More importantly, though, rates are going up. They have been going up, as are home prices. And so to put off buying a home now means that a year from now, which is what the article kind of said, is that they're going to wait and see where things are at in a year. Well, in a year from now, here's what's going to probably happen. We've got a very strong housing market. Inventory is at basically an all-time low, and that's not just locally, but that's nationally. The other thing that happens, with low inventory, it's certainly not a buyer's market, it's a seller's market. Another thing that we're seeing is that with interest rates on the rise and the economy picking up, the stock market doing well, all of those things lead to tell me that in a year from now, there's going to be higher interest rates. Who knows by how much? The Fed talked about another 2 to 3 increases. We just had one, so maybe expect 2 more this year. But between higher interest rates, a lot of people are projecting low to mid 5s, 5.25, 5.5. We're at about 4.25 to 4.5 right now. But with the increase in interest rates and an increase in home values, so let's say you're looking at a $200,000 home and there's a 5% increase. It is a strong market. We might even see more than that. We saw 6+% last year in the Salt Lake Valley. And again, it also depends on neighborhoods and whatnot. But let's just say 5. Then that $200,000 home that you might be looking at now is going to be $210,000. And if you're right at the top of your qualifying, then you're not going to, and all you can afford is $200,000, then that home that you're looking at now for $200,000 is going to be out of your price range. The other thing to think about is, think of it this way: you're either going to be buying less home for the same money, or you're going to be paying more for the same home now. So, and not just, and again, that's kind of a double-edged sword, because you're paying for an increase in price, because of price appreciation, and you're also paying for an increase in the cost of the mortgage because of a higher interest rate. So, a couple of things to think about. Sorry I went a little bit long. Please feel free to call me if you have any questions. I'm happy to help out. And you can reach me at my Salt Lake number 801-893-1737, or on my Vegas number 702-812-1214. Take care and make today great.